Hey guys, how's it going? Hope you're doing well. My name is Crown, and today I'm going to read you some very interesting stories that I hope that you're gonna love. And now, without further ado, let's go!
First of all, no, I don't live in a cult. Okay, so it's been 5 days ever since the lady, we will call her Stephanie, not her real name of course, called. And because we complied that we stopped talking to each other, the chief actually called us and said, "Hey, are you guys okay over there? You've been really quiet recently." Remind you that we're normally allowed a punch and that we are friends with the chief. I said with a slightly sarcastic tone, "What do you mean, chief? We heard from one of your subordinates that you didn't want us to talk to each other." Slightly shocked and confused, the chief said, "What? Who said that? I never said you should stop talking to each other, and plus most of you literally live in the same house." Continuing with my slightly sarcastic tone, I said, "Well, yeah, chief, that's why we were shocked when Stephanie said that you personally saw us talking to each other and that you didn't want us to talk to each other." The chief sighed and said, "Why didn't you call me earlier and tell me about this?" And I'm smirking at this point. Well, Stephanie specifically said that you personally saw us and that if we didn't stop talking, we'll be facing the consequences. We were scared that we'd get in trouble, so we just didn't question it. The chief sighed again. "I just told her to remind all of you to be careful since your dad tested positive. I never said anything about having consequences, but I'll talk to Stephanie about this. I'll call you later." The chief hung up and I was smirking like an idiot knowing that Stephanie was going to get into trouble. A few hours later the chief called again. "Hey, so I talked to Stephanie about what she said then. As an apology, I sent her to give all of you a small box of food supplies. If anything happens, call me immediately." I thanked the chief and hung up. A couple minutes went by and Stephanie showed up with 6 small boxes. She gave my relatives their share and came to me last. She was visibly annoyed and had a scowl on her face. "I hope you're having fun. That chief only gave me 3 warnings before he fires me, and this is a second warning. So as to compensate for what you did, I'll be taking half of your food supplies." I was shocked. "What? You can't do that. Is that why you bought 6 boxes even though there are only 5 houses here?" She started to open the box and rolled her eyes. "You don't need this much food. I have 3 kids at home starving, so I'll be taking these. You're lucky I'm giving you half." Note, I am bipolar, so I can't control my emotions half the time. I pushed her off, yelling at her to stop, and this witch sprayed me with alcohol in my eyes. I screamed in pain and she rushed to get what she could at the small box and pulled it out of there. My family heard my scream and rushed to my house. They bumped into Stephanie while she was running with a small box, but they didn't think much of it, cause they thought she was in a rush. And then I was screaming, so obviously I was more important. After they helped me rinse my eyes and made sure nothing went wrong, they asked what happened. I told them to call the chief cause Stephanie stole my food supply and that she sprayed me with alcohol in my eyes. After a couple rings, the chief answered. "Hello? Did you get the food supplies?" I said, slightly mad, "Yes, we got the food supplies, but Stephanie stole some from my box and sprayed me in the eyes with alcohol. I can't believe you're letting someone like that work for the neighborhood." Slightly concerned, the chief said, "Oh no, are you okay? I'll deal with Stephanie right away and send you back what she stole. I am deeply sorry for what she has done." I sighed. "I want to press charges on her. She stole from a 17-year-old and assaulted me by spraying alcohol in my eyes, in my own home. So I hope you understand." Yes, I understand. I'll help with anything you need. I will call the cops on your behalf and let you know the process needed." I thanked the chief again and hung up. I'm currently still in shock that Stephanie had the audacity to do what she did. Good thing the chief is really nice. For now, I'll keep you posted. This is a story that has both "I do work here lady" and entitled people vibes. I'm a truck driver in the Netherlands for a relatively small transport company. My boss has 5 tractor-trailer combinations, about 9 or 10 box trucks, At the time of the story, I'm driving one of these trucks and about 15 vans. Just a little bit about the yard where the company is located. The yard is fenced and has a large gate. This gate is open between 8 a.m. and 7 in the evening. It opens at 8 a.m. and 7 p.m. You have to call a phone number to open the gate, but only an approved number can do that. Or if you have a key. And now the story. This takes place about 3 or 4 months ago. I had just finished refueling the car. We have to do it after every ride, and I called the number to open the gate. When I came around the bend, I saw a car driving into the terrain that I did not recognize. I recognized the cars from almost all of my colleagues. But I thought, oh, it must be a new driver. So I drove it all the way to refill, and like I do every time, I got back to the company. And this is where the interaction with the woman begins. The cast is me, a 21-year-old truck driver, and the entitled mother, a 30 or so year old B-word or human, and there is also her innocent child who did nothing wrong and was very ashamed. I am not mad at him. One of our planners was involved as well as a police officer. "Hey, what are you doing here?" she asks me. "Well, I work here. I come to park the truck and then go home." "What are you doing here?" "I'm coming to pick up something at number 34. The company is at 36, but Google Maps also shows this at 34. "Madam, you are at 36, and this is prohibited for unauthorized persons between 8 a.m. and 7 p.m. You are not allowed to be here right now." "What are you doing here? You're too young to drive a truck, and you don't even work here." "I work here and you have to leave the area before I call my boss and the police." "No, I will call the police. You lie that you work here. You aren't old enough." She calls 112, our version of 911, and I call my boss. "Hi, I have a woman standing here who refuses to leave and is calling the police." She takes my phone by force and says, "I have a criminal here who broke in to steal a van, but I intercepted him." The planner I called said, "He is not a criminal but one of our drivers. You are unauthorized on private territory. I'm coming. You must be out when I arrive." He hangs up and arrives before the police are there. "Who are you?" "That is private property." During the scream match, the police arrive. I tell them, "Hello, this woman is unauthorized in this area, and she called but my boss is talking to her and can tell you that she is a burglar, not me." Long story short, she got fined and sent away, and that was it. I still work for that company. Okay, so a bit of backstory. So, I just recently turned 18 and got a backpack from my aunt a few months before. It's a really nice backpack, colored red, blue, and purple, with a shark mouse in front. The thing with those types of bags is that they are only made a limited amount and then they are not made anymore. The cast is me, the entitled Karen and helpful bus driver. The story. So I'm currently studying to become a zookeeper in the nearest school that specializes in that. It's about an hour away from where I live, so therefore I take the bus every day. Yes, it's a bit of a distance, but hey, what can I do? So I was riding the bus about a week ago. It was going normally until like 30 minutes into the ride when an obvious Karen steps in. Due to COVID, you are not supposed to sit next to each other, and what did Karen do? Yep, you guessed it. Since I'm very non-confrontational, I didn't say anything and just took my headphones in and listened to some music. Not even 5 minutes later, I feel a tap on my shoulder. "Can I help you?" "Oh, I just wanted to know where you got that backpack from." "Oh, I got it from the internet as a birthday gift." And do you know that feeling when you know things are about to go sideways? Well, I guess I was right. My son had a bag like that. I thought it's a limited edition and I know it's sold out, but then again, he could have gotten it around the time I did. That's sad. When did he lose it? About a year ago. You couldn't get this back a year ago. It wasn't even made at that point. Guess I should never have said that. Karen then started to scream at me, so everyone in the bus began to look at us. Not very comfortable for me, by the way. "I know you stole it from my son, and if you don't give it back to me right now, I will call the police to have you arrested. Even though I knew it was mine, I still got scared. I'm a male and around 190 centimeters, a big boy, but still very sensitive. It doesn't take much to make me break down, sadly. The bus came to a stop and overcame my savior, who heard it all. Enter the helpful bus driver. Ma'am, the police have been called and we will solve this peacefully. Karen looked with a smug grin as the police arrived 10 minutes later. Cop number 1 says, "So what seems to be the problem here?" Karen, still screaming, "This little brat stole my son's backpack and I demand it back." Cop 1 says to me, "Is that true?" "No, officer, I swear it's mine." "Do you have any way to prove it?" I was about to say no when I remembered I can call my aunt. I called her. "Hey auntie, can you just quickly tell me what you gave me for my birthday?" My aunt, confused, Yeah, sure. I gave you that backpack." "What color is it?" "It's red, blue and purple." "Oh, and has a shark mouse at the front." "Thanks, I'll explain everything when I see you." She then sends a picture of me opening the box with a backpack inside. The date? November 15, 2020. Karen goes bail. She then tries to take my bag and make a run for it, but the helpful bus driver closed the doors before she could get out. Karen was then arrested for attempted theft and I got an apology from almost everyone in the bus. To think people like this exist. Going to try to keep this short and sweet. I'm still getting text messages and it's making me more upset to read them. I went to a birthday party for Annie, my sister, female 34. I, male 36, and my wife, female 36, went as we were able to get her parents to watch the boy, our 16-month son. It was a normal adult birthday party as she has no kids. She has some of her friends over and our parents. I'm white and all of my family are all white. This is important for the story. My wife is Chinese, was born in China and became a citizen when she and her family moved to the US when she was about 16. She's 100% a US citizen and she and all her family speak Mandarin. My wife can speak English very well, but her family, mostly elders, do not speak a lick of it. I've been learning Mandarin as it's my wife's cultural language. It's cool as hell. And I want our boy and future children to be able to speak both of our languages. It's been about 2.5 years and I'm not very conversational yet, but I pick up on a lot of things. Can understand the basic gist of most conversations, and I can speak basic sentences like, "Is that food hot?" or "The boy's diaper has been changed?" and so on. I have also learned how to read and write Mandarin. Mostly reading right now as I find it helps me learn better. And I sometimes drop cool sentences into the family chat on Facebook. Annie doesn't speak very much in it, but will post Fox articles. Usually articles about China that are very critical of the government. I'm not sure if she's racist against Chinese people. She's never said anything negative to my wife in any way. So last night we're at the dinner table when Annie handed me a slip of paper. I ask what this is as I unwrap it and it says Tiananmen Square 1989. And I look up at her and she has this dumb grin on her face. I ask her what this is and she goes, "Can you translate that into Mandarin?" And this is where people seem to think I'm the jerk. I got really freaking mad. I immediately started yelling, called her a racist and said we were leaving. My mom and dad got mad. Annie said that I was being dramatic and her friends, all of whom are also white, didn't see what the big deal was. I basically told everybody off using very big adult words before leaving. My phone started blowing up with text messages saying that you're not even Chinese, what the hell, and you ruined her birthday party. I briefly spoke to my mom this morning where I tried to explain why what she did was racist, targeted towards me and my family, and is very unacceptable behavior. I told my mom that I won't be going to the house anymore if she's there and that she needs help. My mom softly echoed what my sister said. With all these text messages, I'm not sure anymore if I overreacted. My wife was unaffected by the whole thing but understands why I'd be upset. I don't know, am I the jerk for reacting this way? And now with some comments on the post. Someone saying, you do realize you don't just have a racist sister problem, right? Your mom softly echoed your racist sister as well. Everyone who's texting you, telling you that you're the jerk and still wants to support your racist sister is also a racist. Your wife isn't unaffected, she is just used to the racist microaggressions, and so she chooses her battles. She's probably waiting till some future event that could occur that will emotionally harm your son to finally let it all out or ask for a divorce. Not the jerk. But you've got a racist family problem and you better decide where to draw the line in cement and not cross it. Another commenter goes with, not the jerk, and you did not overreact. Annie is playing racist games and doing it with a big who, me, grin of so many racist jerks. Unless your wife is secretly a member of the Chinese government, it is absurd to think that writing that down and giving it to you for translation into Mandarin is anything other than a provocation. Good for you for telling her off. You set an acceptable boundary and she'll at least think twice about subversively insulting your wife and family. The third commenter adds, not that jerk. What was even her point in giving you that paper and asking you to speak it out loud? Did she think your wife, whose family had a reason to leave their country and come to the USA, would be slighted by it? This isn't even a microaggression. This is a macroaggression. And I applaud you for standing by your wife and future children. They will have to face this same ignorance from your family when they get older. I work as an EHS person for a manufacturing and repair company. I deal with OSHA inspections, chemical management, and spill reporting. I do a lot of walking around and fix a lot of issues. Floor signs, door signs, plug panels, trash, and other safety issues. I put in a service request for them to be fixed. Due to being sick, I got behind on my tasks. Not by much, but enough I had to slow down to get them done. Work a little overtime. Had a doctor's note for breathing issues, and that I won't be at 100% for a while. Well, I had my review for my position. Being too nice, helping outside of my position, not finishing jobs as directed, I needed to do my job as directed. My raise and bonus was not given this year for that. Okay, so I requested a job description and tasks. When I had them in an email, I said I would only be doing them because of my contract and that's it. Confirmation email 10 minutes later for it. 3 months down the line, we have our big audit. My side of EHS of the department was given a 95 out of 100. Very good score. I was docked 5 on the issue with chemical management. We had 3 drums get misplaced for about a month. This is a huge facility. 4 different buildings at 400 to 500,000 square feet. So I took my issues and went about my day. They have some points system for the audit. 1 week later we had a meeting about the audit. Rest of VHS ended up with a 79 to 82 for the audit. They had 19 floor and wall signs that had been damaged, 10 plug panels, 2 mislabeled waste bins, 3 waste bins without labels and many more. In my company, I have 2 main groups, green badge full-time and yellow badge contractors. I'm contracted and have been for the past 6 years. The ones in charge of the inspections that had issues are full employees. They noticed that I stopped putting in the maintenance requests to have stuff fixed. I ended up telling them that I had my review. I was told being too nice, helpful, and to do my job as directed. I gave the head of the department, his company manager, and the other rep that had come in the emails. My direct boss tried to say he did not mean that, but the emails showed what I was to do. I was taken aside with my direct boss and the main EHS department bosses, and my contracted company rep talked about expanding my scope of work to back to reporting and maintenance requests. I said if my bonus and raise from last year are given, and an adequate raise for my new responsibilities are given, then I would consider it. They complied with my requests and gave me more of my bonus because of getting the highest score on the audit. The EHS team I work for at my facility is 9 people. We had 5 new by the end of the month. I guess malicious compliance worked in my favor.
And now we have reached the end of today's stories. Thank you for watching and see you next time.